You haven't done a live show in a while.
Never done a live show in quite a while.
Oh, damn. Are you? Do you feel like you'll be able to handle this? I mean, usually I would just sit here and just say words until things felt comfortable. You know, if I don't know if you need something written down, like there are some people that go by scripts. I just look up and just start talking until people stop watching. So I'm not sure which one you'd want to go for, but for me, I could just turn and say, ladies and gentlemen, my name is the great Harry Barnett. You may have heard of me from such great places as my YouTube channel and Wayne's YouTube channel. That's all. Right. I've never been anywhere else. No, I'm kidding. I've been in lots of places. But if you haven't heard of me before, I do a occasional podcast with my dear close personal friend, Jimmy Lyon, a.k.a. Chondo Catman. I named him because he loves cats. Mm-hmm. And I, of course, obviously, because I wouldn't be here otherwise, do a 3D printing show with this man to my left or right, depending on how the screen is presented at the time. And I'm sure he'd be able to introduce himself. Otherwise, you know, he may need a badge.
I will. I was busy updating the live show because we're doing a live show, everybody. And I was putting the link onto a 3D printing group that I'm part of on Facebook. And maybe we'll get some people to join. I don't know. And maybe they'll ask some questions that we probably cannot answer. And you can just try to bullshit your way out of them. And we'll see what happens.
Well, I mean, monkey see, monkey do is usually how I do things. If I see something that I think is wrong, I can sort of do things from there. I've never been good with words. Oh, wait. Yes, I have. Yeah. I feel like this could turn into not an agony aunt, not an agony uncle, but like a sort of, you know, one of those column pages where you send in your problems.
Right. Yeah.
I feel like this could be a very Peter Griffin version where it's like you send in your problems and I give you the wrong answer, and then you go and absolutely screw up your not your life but your 3D printer. No, I'm 2 years in now. I feel like if ever is going to be a time where I can tell you what to do to fix your problem, hey, maybe I'll be able to do it. Maybe I'll actually guess right and you'll actually be able to fix it. But if your problem is some big technical problem that, you know, could cost you thousands of pounds or dollars, then I'm gonna run that way.
Don't run towards me. You pointed towards me.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know how this turns out. Like,
which way's the door? That way?
You're that way from me, and I'm scared that me pointing that way.
You're that way.
That you'll end up on that side when it's actually live or archived or anything like that. So I am scared just that I'm pointing the wrong way.
Just don't jump that way. I think that's the window for you, right?
I've got a balcony that way, so I'm pointing to. Look, there's a balcony in one direction. There's a window in another. There's a wall in another, and there's a door in the other. So as long as I don't go in the direction of the balcony or the window, I think we're all good.
We're all good. All right, good. Well, my name is Wayne Noon, and I run actually Rat Salad Review, and which you can see on the bottom of the screen here, right there. It says ratsaladreview.com. You can check out our website, and please subscribe to this YouTube channel, and subscribe to Harry's YouTube channel. What is your YouTube channel, Harry?
I don't have a custom link yet, Wayne. I neglect.
Well, you don't have to, but you have it under a name.
Yeah. I neglect my my YouTube channel from time to time. It's very much one of those things where I post something and go, yeah, go watch. Very much if you go to YouTube and you type in The Great Harry Barnett or The Great Harry Barnett and Chondo Catman Show, or one of the many links that ties to my name, TGHB, anything like that, you'll find my channel with all kinds of great podcasts and 3D printing videos. Even did a video game stream the other day for some reason.
Oh, that reminds me. Today was the release, well, at least on the Switch, the new wrestling game. What the hell's the name of it? Retro something.
Retromania. The sequel to WrestleFest. Yeah, that's been due to come out for quite some time, and they obviously ran into problems non-stop for a good few months, and I think they're still yet to come out on the PS4, but they are out on Xbox and Switch now.
Xbox, Switch, and then what's the other one is what's the other one?
The PC on Steam.
Steam. Yeah. I don't have that, so that's why I forgot. But I will be, after we're done with this, I'm going to buy that game because I've been waiting for that for quite a while.
I don't buy games, Wayne.
I know you don't buy games. I do.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I make arrangements.
I still have to work on that myself, but anyway, you were mentioning before about you taking your machines apart and all this stuff, and you actually have an issue right now with your machine, right?
Yes.
Or at least one of them.
So I've only got the one machine that works. The other machine I took apart because it wouldn't work, and I eventually found out. Oh yeah. They sell it to you with a damaged wire or something. I don't know. Maybe it was damaged. Maybe it was damaged. Maybe it was damaged in shipping. I don't know. But so the second machine I bought, which was a knockoff CR10, I took that apart and just put the parts in the cupboard because I was like, no, I'm not putting myself through this, and it was taking up a lot of desk space, and it wasn't enclosed, so I got nervous because obviously my Flash Forge is enclosed, so I don't get worried about dying in a fire or the damn thing blowing up or falling apart. So yeah, but when it comes to my Flash Forge,
what do you think? The fire can't come out of the little cage it's in the little box?
Yeah, but by the time
it catches on fire.
By the time that fire gets big enough, it will start to melt through the enclosure. By then, I'll be able to run, I would say, to China, but I don't think I can run that far. I would say to Australia, but I don't want to go there for obvious reasons. Again, I'll just run that way or that way.
Well, don't run that way.
Whichever way. I'll run in some sort of direction. But yeah, so I get scared of the fire and all that if the unenclosed printer was to cause trouble. So yeah, my Flash Forge I have used for 8,000 hours nearly. It's closer to 8,000 than it's 7,000, so I feel I'm appropriately rounding up. And basically, I've never had a fault with it. When I say never had a fault with it, I'm lying because I had one fault with it. Rounding down. I had one fault with it, and that one fault has repeated. I've had to change the nozzle various times because anyone that has a Flash Forge will know that with a Flash Forge, you need to change the nozzle quite a bit because that's obviously how they marketed the damn thing is, you need a new nozzle for each different type of filament, each different type of material. And, it wouldn't be so bad if they went 30, 40 pounds a shot. But the problem with my machine is the X-axis. My extruder is not moving right on the X-axis. And I thought that it was the ribbon cable that was attached to the extruder. I thought that was the problem. Turns out the forums were telling me, no, it's not the ribbon cable. It's the actual the X-axis cable. So the cable going to the actual motor. That they are apparently incredibly fragile. And that was the one problem that I had before, was that the X-axis cable had become damaged. And it cost me £2 to get a new one. And because I hate paying postage, I'll pay a million pounds to get something, but if I have to pay more than £1 or £2 to get that delivered, I don't want to pay that £1 million. So I paid for standard shipping. So those £2 went up. Those £2 went up to £4, and I have to wait until at the latest, I think it's Friday, for the new cable to be delivered. I tried unplugging the original cable and sort of seeing if there was any damage, trying to clean it, trying to see if I could fix it in any way. didn't seem to do anything for it. But yeah, so now if I was to run my printer now, that thing's not going to move at all on the x-axis to the right, and it's so far over to the left that it can't go any further. So it's not moving on the x-axis at all until I fix that thing.
Is there anything that would have caused that, or it just happens over time again? Because you said you've been using it for how many years without any issues, really?
2 years. This is, well, it's not even quite 2 years. So I got the original one that I had, which was an ANET A8, which I got, I want to say May 2 years ago. May have been May, may have been April. And I believe I had that for a month, sent that back, and then got my Flash Forge a month after that. So that was either May or June. So yeah, it's not even 2 years. And the fact that I've run that thing for nearly 8,000 hours is incredible.
I mean, I can tell because all the stuff, because the last time we did a show, you did not have this background, and I picked on you. You got to have your stuff in the background. You finally do. So there's all the things that he has printed, and he's actually printed more than that. That is not
all of it. That's just the stuff that I either kept for myself, the stuff that I wanted to, the stuff that I wanted to just showcase when I eventually did this. There's still a fair few. I can't sit like that. That's uncomfortable. I am going to try and move it so like my camera is, so I'm sat in a different position and then it's literally over my shoulder. But that will probably happen in another 10 years when I stop being lazy again. That was just so much work. No, it wasn't that much work. It took me less than an hour. Yeah, all those months, and it took me less than an hour to do it. But yeah, there's still bunch of the pops that that I hadn't finished or that I hadn't colorized properly. The Cole County Crusher, you may know him as Little Jimmy LeBeau. No
idea. I know the name. I don't know who.
The son of Jim Cornette.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I knew you'd recognize the name. I've got my one at the top there. My one, the newest one that I made, because the other two I gave away as leaving presents for people at work. And then I've got a bunch just in my other shelf here where I haven't finished painting them, or they got damaged when I decided that I would go and get a drink in the middle of the night, and did it all without a light on, and things got smashed, and I was included in that getting smashed because that, yeah, I took a couple of bumps.
Well, I hope you learned your lesson.
Wayne, you've known me long enough now, and heard enough stories to know I never learn lessons when it comes to physically getting my ass handed to me. But yeah, no, there's plenty of stuff, gifts, orders, various things that aren't on there. But no, that was basically the start. That was okay. Again, nice little arrangement of things, you know. Obviously had that shelf before, just didn't have it in the background. And yeah, that's a start. So over the coming months and years, whenever, that will gradually be updated and things will look cool. And my favorite is probably the pops, because the original pops, I'm not going to say these pops here, because those are PLA kits, which I just thought were cool, and I thought, oh yeah, I'll download those, print them and paint them. But the pops up here, they're all original that I've actually, and mine and Little Jimmy LeBeau, they're all original. They're ones that I've sat down and actually put the work into, which is mainly just painting. And as you can see, my friend Valentina there, I had to put a lot of work into the pose, putting the arms out and everything. But and stand styles directly above my head. Had to put the shake weight and the cream in his hands. These things take a lot of work.
I was going to say, like, how long does it take to put together one? In like, what program do you use to do that anyway? I don't know.
Tinkercad. Tinkercad seems to be the easiest one, yet the hardest one to use, because when it comes to let's take Valentina there. With the arms, I had to literally, if I'd take an arm, I would cut the arm off and then basically keep cutting it down and manipulate the pieces together. And that would take forever, because it would be the angles and the angles of the bits of the arm and making sure it was all right and making it look like it wasn't just tree stumps stuck together, you know, when a tree gets cut and it didn't look like that.
Yeah.
So making it look legitimate, realistic, and then obviously when you print the finished thing out, if anything looks wrong, it's like putting all that work and it's come out like this.
Right.
Like I had a pop of Chondo, my co-host on my other show, who he does a character of claiming he's his own sister, and I did a pop of Chondita, and because like there's a pose where her arms up like that, because of the hair as well, I had a massive like hole in the back of the head. And yeah, it didn't look right. So yeah, some of these things take a lot of work for no reward, but literally all of these up here, they turned out wonderfully. Other than Vito Lagrasso up there, I've got to learn how to work the camera. This is going to piss me off. Yeah, Vito Lagrasso there, big Vito Lagrasso. His pop, the head got to about there and then it stopped. See, I can't even work the camera. This is my terrible what's the word I'm looking for?
Well, it's backwards, so it's kind of hard to figure it out.
It's not even that. It's my terrible hand-eye coordination. That's the word I was looking for. Thank you for filling those in. And I was thanking myself, not you. But yeah, Vito's head got to like there and then it stopped printing. And I can't remember if it was a jam or if something went wrong. And jams are an absolute bitch. And I don't know what you've had jam wise, but once your filament gets stuck and it carries on printing without the filament, that's when you really just look around and you think, what have I got weapon wise that I can smash this thing with?
That has not happened to me yet. And back with the pops too, before we get off of that subject, where do you go to get the template to make a pop? Because I've never made one. I wanted to make one, but I haven't done it yet.
Yeah. So your basic Thingiverse, the Yegi, all of those sort of like directories where people have put something on there. I'll look on there and I'll see various different shapes, because obviously, as you can see, the female figures are different to the male ones. Because I don't want to have to say, okay, she's a smaller frame than him, so I'll have to shrink her down. Nah, it's got to be a different figure, because I just can't do it like that.
Yeah,
so yeah, a lot of the time I've taken exactly. So a lot of the time I've taken with Stan Styles there. His, I literally, because he's a jack dude, I cut the arms off and I basically made the arms bigger and then put them back on. So there was a little bit of manipulation there, but yeah, it takes a lot of effort from like a basic figure, and there are quite a few basic figures out there. There are some where people have already customized them. Like I'll go through and I'll look at some of the custom pops. I saw an Arrow one, an Oliver Queen one the other day that I was like, I've never paid for an STL file, but I almost came close to that because I'm a big Arrow fan. But there are so many out there, because there are people who aren't lazy like me, who actually put the work in. And I call myself lazy, but at the end of the day, I don't have the confidence to sit down and say, okay, here is the Cole County Crusher. I'm going to do this from scratch. And, I see this shape of the foot, and, I have to put the effort in to do the actual shape. And if I don't like it, it's going to take me several more hours. And it's just getting inside my own head. So I have to start from a template to then make the manipulations and obviously come out with a Cole County Crusher, little Jimmy LeBeau.
So that's my problem. I don't have the patience. I used to back in the day, but nowadays I don't have patience to sit and tinker with things on what is it? What did you just say it was? Something CAD?
Tinkercad.
But I can go on Thingiverse. Is that what it is? I haven't done this in a while, so I'm forgetting things. And
Thingiverse, Yegi, anything like that is a 3D printing directory. So the stuff where you find like stuff that's already been made, and you can either change your own. Yeah, you can either change your own to make it your own, or you can directly print it. I mean, I'll be honest with you, Vito's is just a blank pop. That is literally just a blank pop. The paint is everything on that one.
I'm surprised you didn't put him in a dress.
I could have done. I think I consulted Noelle, his wife, and she said, "Oh, you should do the WCW attire." So I was like, okay, and then I went with that one.
Yeah, no, they come out really cool. But yeah, like I said, I really haven't printed anything because actually last time I did print something was Valentine's Day, and I made something for my wife. I showed you all the pictures and the stressful time I had making this stupid thing. But it came out pretty cool. You can still see
the stress on your face.
Oh my god, this thing was very annoying. But I found this on Thingiverse, and they have it where you can download it all as one thing, or you can print out each piece. So I said, you know what, let me print out each piece separately and see what happens. But one thing was messed up. The hands are different. I don't know why. I guess whoever fixed it, messed up the hands or whatever. And then the other thing was that after I got it printed, I noticed that it didn't like leave indents. Like, say this is the house, and it didn't leave like an indent where I could put Snoopy's body on top of the house.
No, I get what you mean.
I had to figure out how to melt the plastic to get it on there, and I took a hot glue gun because it was kind of the shape that I needed. So I just used the edge of the hot glue gun and pushed them on there, and it stayed, and it's got glue on there, hot glue. Even with the head too. The head was all separate, and even Woodstock, he's a little wobbly, but he's on there.
I'll tell you what someone once told me as far as pictures, Wayne. Angles are everything. Do you see Iron Man up the top there?
Right.
You see Iron Man up the top there. He looks great, but the paint job either side of Iron Man is terrible because I knew that you'd only see him face on. You're saying about having to melt the spot, the indent for Snoopy. If you got even a millimeter out of place and you go to show me that, I mean, my eyesight isn't that great, but I may notice it. Someone who doesn't know what they're looking for may notice it. But the fact that you got it right, you deserve the credit because you could have taken what looks like tremendous work.
Oh, on here, it looks. You would think this is flawless, but if you get real close up,
you can see. You can see the lines.
It's pretty shoddy.
I've come to the point where lines
they don't bother me. It was for my wife, and I said it's for my son. So it looks like he made it. It looks like a 4-year-old made it.
Yeah, but the lines. That's the thing. The lines can be hidden. So if you hold it back about where your head is now.
Yeah. When I gave it to her, I said, "Here." I went into her room with the light off, and I said, "Here, I made you something." So she didn't really see it. But no. But in general, it came out pretty cool. And actually, this too, these steps. I printed these out separately, and I couldn't just glue them to the house, so I had to make an indent into the house and then push that in there and glue that too. So it was a lot of work, but it came out pretty cool. And one thing I will say, if you do print something out, don't paint it first, because the glue really does not stick very well to the paint. And I should have known that because I deal with painting and all that stuff, and I've done for years.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right.
Put it together, then paint it.
Yep.
Because glue really does not stick to paint.
Don't think it's funny. 2 months on, I haven't finished that.
And then I also painted this. I used your suggestion, and I used the paint pens, which they worked fairly well. But they do leave, like, if it doesn't dry right away. And actually, it's still a little sticky. I don't know why. This has been done for months, but it leaves a little tackiness to it. Yeah.
You want to get some clear coat on that, Wayne Noon?
I could have done that too. I didn't think about it.
That's because thinking's dangerous. Just listen and learn. That's all I can say.
Very dangerous. But it did leave like red fingerprints all over Snoopy's body. So, but it's like I said, it's from my 4-year-old son, so it looks like he made it. But she loved it anyway, so it came out pretty cool. But after that, I tried to go back and just what was I going to print up? I don't even know. Oh, I found this cool looking rocket on Thingiverse. Everybody's probably seen it. It's just a rocket, and it's got the smoke. You know, when the rocket takes off, it leaves all that smoke or whatever.
Yeah.
I was going to print one of those up just for the hell of it because it looks really cool. Yeah, it looks really cool. Went to go print it up. It seemed like it was going to go fine, and then all of a sudden, it just started messing up. You know, the usual. And then on the last episode, you remember all the spaghetti I kept having all over my bed all the time. I showed you. It started doing that again. So I did it about 5 times, tried to reset everything. I actually also, too, learned another trick to try that we haven't talked about is flipping. If you have a glass plate, you flip the glass plate around and you print on the flat surface, the shiny part of the glass. Because on the other side, it's like got like a grip on it or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of people say if you print on the flat plastics, the glass side, the adhesion's better. And it seemed to be better. It actually seemed to work fairly well. But then for some reason, I don't know why. I guess maybe something's with the way the printer is leveled or something. I don't know. But every time I tried to print the rocket, it just would not work, and I gave up.
Well, that clearly tells you, Wayne, that you are not made for space travel.
I'm not made for space travel. I will not be going to the moon or Mars or off Earth. I'm not going off Earth anytime soon.
Well, I always did say that you were clearly not from this world.
Or if you hear me say, hey, I built a rocket ship, you want to go take it to the moon? Don't take that rocket ship.
But yeah, so you've kind of let it slip from then, haven't you? You haven't touched it.
I have not touched it. The printer. I have not touched the printer.
I knew exactly what you meant. I know that needed specifying for.
Some people might not know. Some people just joining the show right now don't know this is a 3D printing show. They could be thinking something else. So I have to specify.
But yeah, do tell. It's literally because of that very problem.
Yeah, pretty much. It's very stressful, this machine. I have a lot of stressful times with it, and it's not easy. and even from the Facebook group that I am on what is it called? 3D printing for noobs. A lot of people have the same. A lot of people have the same issue. And it's with the 3D, what the hell is that thing called? The Ender 3 version 2. Everybody seems to buy that one because it's like, you know, it's the one that's got the most reviews on Amazon, and it's a decent price too, and it is a good printer when it works.
Well, I'll tell you, the forums, the Facebook groups, they're kind of dicks. And
actually, this one they're fairly cool in the group, and there's a lot of people that have a lot of knowledge, and they help a lot of people on there. It's just well,
they're very picky and choosy. I'll tell you that. I'll tell you that, and you can ask Binham in that as well. He will tell you the exact same thing because they can be very abrasive. If you
they can be. I've
if
been
you're
on
not
a few
3D printing genius, they'll be very abrasive with you.
Yeah. Well, this is a new group, so I think they take it easy on everybody. I mean, I could see if you go to like, you know, an expert 3D printing group, and then you ask like, you know, how do you level the bed? They'll be kicking you out. You know.
Well, sometimes it's not even like a even if you're not asking a complex question, or if you've asked something that's been asked before, and it's something like I can't think of something that could have been asked, but it's like they'll just get on you like, oh, why don't you just read the forum and you'll see that it's been asked before. It's like, but it's a lot easier to just type the question in.
Right.
Why can't you take the 30 seconds to just answer the question?
Right.
If someone
they took the 30 seconds to answer like an idiot, but they couldn't just answer the question.
I'm terrible with Facebook and Reddit, but believe me, if I had like awareness of when people were posting stuff, if I could get back to them in a timely manner, I would answer them. I would tell them if it's something I knew the answer to, I'd go on there instead of going, why don't you read through it and have a look?
Right.
No, convenience. These things are meant to be for convenience and helping each other.
All right. Yeah, it's not like well, I guess you can search it too as well, but sometimes it's not. Nothing ever. A lot of things don't come up when you
Who
search
uses
things.
Google anymore?
Well, no, when you search on the groups.
Oh, searching in the group, yeah.
Yeah, you
That's
can
what I
search
tend to
directly
do.
inside the
That's
group.
what I tend to do usually.
But yeah, but ever since then, I kind of gave up on the machine. I haven't. I've tried to go back to it a couple days later, and I'm still getting the same thing. The only thing I could think it is maybe the nozzle. It's probably clogged because I have cleaned it a few times. I did that thing, you put the arm all the way up and then you turn it up so high to the heat. I don't know what the hell the heat is, probably 300 or something. And then you clean it out or whatever.
240 on mine. I think mine is.
They've
got a new nozzle for mine, and it's 265. But yeah, the my one is 240 because. Well, I mean, I've shown you the Flash Forge nozzle before. And that's not the same as your standard printer nozzle. So yeah, the one reason why I would say never to get a Flash Forge, and I say one reason because every other thing about that printer is an advantage.
Right.
Apart from the size.
Yeah, that's a shame, because I really, when my printer works, it's fine. I like it a lot. But now that I ran into this issue, I mean, I have an extra nozzle. It's just me having to change it. I just got to find time to sit there and do it. It's hard to do it when you got so many other things going on. You got your kids always around, and when you've got family, it's hard to do things like that. But I'll get to it eventually. That I actually want to get him involved, my son involved in making stuff too. It's just the things.
A time will come with him where you'll end up getting him one of those kids printers, because I've seen them when I've been looking around where you'll get him into it and then you'll realize, okay, I'll get him this smaller one. Like you can get specific ones for kids that like they'll put them on lower temperatures, and the filament is specifically like one that can be melted a lot lower temperature so they don't get burnt. But yeah, you end up getting him in on that. I can tell, because it is a very I would say
it's cool to find. Yeah, it is. Yeah,
it's a very shareable medium, because although there's I don't have all of these people that I've recommended to do this. I have a lot of people who are interested in this. Obviously, Vito Lagrasso's wife Noelle and Vince Russo, big fans of the 3D printing. Russo, when I've been on his Twitch channel a couple of times on the call-in show, he's always asked about that stuff, and Noelle is a big fan. And then there's just people in general who be like, oh, you made that or that or that or that, and they're just, oh, that's so cool, and they're interested, because it's not something you see every day. You'll see artists, you'll see people who work in crafts, but you don't see the 3D printing every day. It is still a very closed off world.
It doesn't seem like that, because everywhere I go, because I am part of that 3D printing group, so everybody has one in there. But it seems like it's getting more and more popular. But the other cool thing too is if my son does get into it, they have show and tell. So it'd be kind of cool. I mean, how many kids go to school with a show and tell thing that they actually made from a 3D printer, and show all these little kids so they can get jealous.
Exactly. I mean, if I was a kid, which in my head I really am, I would be jealous if I went to show and tell and found, little Jimmy, he's got a 3D printer at home. His dad's got a 3D printer, and he's printing all of these things. Yeah, I would get up. I would take the championship belt I got from being a wrestling fan as a kid. I'd smack him in the head, and I'd take wherever he printed. That's just what I'd do.
I wouldn't blame you. I would probably do the same thing, and then go to the kid's house and steal the printer, and then not know what to do with it.
That's that may or may not be you confessing to a felony that way.
No, I wouldn't do that.
I'm not willing to be a part of this. I'm going to turn my head, and if they take you away, I will just sit here in silence as a memory to you.
Will you continue the show if I'm not here? I'm allowing you to do that, so you can if you want.
It'll be a moment of silence. I didn't say that moment would take a minute. It may take half an hour just to fill time. It may take 2 hours. I don't know. Depends how much time you're looking for this show to fill. can't really guarantee that I'll speak the rest of the show. I'll carry it on, but I won't speak.
You can have guests too if you want. Do you know other people that do print besides Bin Hameen and somebody else prints too? I can't remember who.
I don't know. Well, not that I can think off the top of my head. There has been. I've suggested so many other people get them, but no, Ben is the only one I can actually think of. You do remember you're dealing with someone who has a great deal of brain trauma, so you're lucky I remember your name, let alone anyone else I can think of. But no, Ben is the only one I can think of because I didn't even know Ben was a 3D print guy until I saw a random tweet one day. I was like, oh damn, he's got a printer as well. And from then on, he has blamed me every time any of his prints have failed. And he has instructed that I go and fix his printers whenever they've been down. I still feel bad because when I first spoke to Ben, I want to say 2015, 2014. It was when he called into the bowling alley, and I gave away his location because he was saying that he was doing the whole parts unknown thing, and I said that he was in a specific part of Kentucky. I don't remember where it was, and he cussed me out and called me an infidel moron and things like that. It was really funny. But yeah, I kind of owe him from then on out. So yeah, if he wants to blame me for all of the failed prints, then I'll accept that blame and I'll wear that blame like a badge of honor.
Is that up still anywhere? I have to hear that. I wonder if I did hear that.
Yeah, unless the actual websites have deleted them, they are still out there. I deleted my own personal copies of everything because I cleared my computer out. But yeah, as long as the actual websites that I put them on, Podcast Garden, embarrassing. Yeah, as long as Podcast Garden is still a thing, they should be out there.
Oh, all right, I'll give it a listen. That'd be interesting to hear because I haven't heard stuff from that long ago. But
yeah, that makes two of us.
What is the next thing you're ready to print once you get your printer back up and going?
That's a great question, and I was before I really saw that the printer was going to be an issue for a minute. I was sitting here thinking, what am I going to do next? Because obviously, as I told you, I'm off work all of this week, and until I realized that it was going to be summer, that it was going to be nice outside, because I only believe in two seasons, Wayne, summer and winter. I don't believe in spring. I believe spring is in fact just summer. And I don't believe in autumn. I believe autumn is in fact winter. But yeah, when I realized it was going to be summer today, I was like, okay, I can't just sit in here on the computer. So luckily now the sun's no longer out. It's about 9 o'clock at night, so it's dark. And I can sit here on the computer, but lost my train of thought there because Facebook notification popped up. Yeah, that was it. Yeah. So when I realized I was going to be sat on the computer,
falling asleep there for a minute.
It happens. I try to go long form on my story, and then I'm like, oh yeah. I tried to explain every aspect of my day, and then I'm like, yeah. I was going to sit down and do some more pops because I really do like the custom pops. The fact that I've got the time to sit here and say, okay, I've done these. I have a friend. I use the term loosely. Mark Angel, who has been asking me for the longest time to make him a pop. That son of a bitch bugs me every hour of the day saying, oh, you made this person a pop and you don't make me one. No, he doesn't say that, but he does want me to make a pop. But yeah, I could have done his. There are a few others. Yeah, so mainly the pops. I wanted to do a custom PlayStation control.
Oh, really?
And that's not custom, but that is paint penned because it was a black control. And I was like, all right, I don't have the time or patience to sit down and really break apart the because I have a scan of that I found. Had to really search to find that. don't have the commitment to be able to break down into the particular pieces, to print the pieces off, make sure they fit together, make sure that I can screw them together. Didn't have the energy or the commitment for that. So I was like, okay, I'm not gonna do that. So really, in long form, I could just finish off the Captain America shield. I could print some more custom Lego figures, glasses holders, like that old man and like Stitch. There are hundreds. Well, yeah, you saw Stitch on my birthday when I was trying to show Valentina. And then the old man, I was searching glasses holders for a long time.
Oh yeah, I remember you posted a picture about that.
Yeah, it took forever before I found that. I was getting annoyed because I was like, come on, how many people wear glasses? You'd think that this would be a popular thing.
You would think so.
And then obviously with my wandering mind, when I was looking for glasses holders, I started looking for headphone holders, and that's where that skull comes in handy. I'm not sure if that's Steve Austin related. I'm not sure if the person who actually made that was a wrestling fan, but a lot of people have made that comparison. But no, I just had all of these ideas where I was like, yeah, I could do something cool. I could do something to promote a friend, obviously, like all of the pops. I could do something that could end up making me money again, because I love doing that. I love money.
Who doesn't?
I could do so many things. Did you say who doesn't?
Yeah, I did. Who doesn't like to make money?
Monks who are non-materialistic. That's who. People who have everything in their life, who just want the joy of continuing on. There are plenty of answers I could give you there, Wayne Noon, but this isn't a life discussion show. This is a 3D printing show.
It's turned into that. I wish I could get to that point though, where I would know how to make stuff on the 3D printer to start making money, because there's a lot of ideas I have in my head to make things. It's just to use that Tinkercad thing is just like, I don't know, just
time and effort is something neither of us have. You have a family, you have a life. I have nap time and ice cream. So, whenever I want to do something, I end up sleeping. So yeah, things get pushed to the side. Priorities change. Eventually, I'm going to come out with a ton of other things to make, to sell, to show, to put up there. But yeah, it all takes time, effort, and patience. 3 things which I don't have. I do have the time, I just don't want to. I have the effort, but I'd rather nap. And patience, I've never had patience. Literally, the selling point of this printer for me has always been, hey, I can print stuff and I can nap while I do it. That has always been the draw. That has always been the draw for me. It's always been, hey, I don't have to sit on YouTube posting all of these clips, which coincidentally is what I've done since I came in today. I don't have to do the whole podcaster life, or podcast producer life. Sorry, because I'll gladly sit on any podcast and talk to them, let alone the 2 shows that I do sporadically and occasionally. But yeah. It has always been about taking the nap while things are printing, and that time will come again once I fix this printer, because that cable's not going to take forever to turn up. Friday will come sooner or later.
I hope
it is only Tuesday. It's only Tuesday, so eventually
it is only Tuesday. God, it feels later in the week than that. Did you ever finish the Harley Quinn?
As a matter of fact, Wayne, yes, I did.
You did.
She's right there. But again, like I told you, it's all about the angles. I made sure to paint it so that the angle I had her. I didn't realize that shelf would look so far away, but to be fair, I've got my TV pushed all the way back. So I think if I had it closer to the edge of the desk, you'd be able to see things a lot better. Either that, or if I had a better camera. Pretty sure I only paid £10 for this camera. But yeah, it's all about the angles. So you can see that she looks Well, I mean, you'd really need
Can't
your
really see that.
you'd really need your best glasses to be able to see her there.
But it's done, because I know you had an
it's
issue with the
done.
first one.
All of the specific parts of her that had broken off because of supports or because I didn't infill enough. They all actually turned out pretty well, and she's nice and painted, and yeah, she looks great. As you can see Kratos there to the right, the wooden picture of my dog, which I haven't painted since the other one I gave away. All of the PLA kits. You can even see some of my filament if I move my shoulder.
Now, I noticed you have it out on the shelf.
Yes, because the one just next to my shoulder, that metallic one, that is the one I was using just before the printer messed up.
Now, aren't you worried about moisture getting into those?
Oh, I don't care.
Well,
I
then
use
the
it
thing
too
won't print right.
Oh, it usually does for me, and I use this stuff up way too quickly.
Oh, wait, well, you got the... well, that shouldn't matter, though.
Yeah,
I don't know.
And I use this stuff way too quickly for it to...
And you never have any issue with moisture?
The only time I've had an issue with moisture was with the... Let me see if it's what I've got there. Yeah, so the blue one... My microphone is way too close to my face. The blue one, which is the top of the middle stack... The clear one, which is the second one down, and then the red one, which is the bottom of the first stack. Those are TPU. So I've obviously told you about TPU, the soft plastic. Those are the only things I've ever had an issue with moisture with, because the first time I printed TPU, which was with the clear TPU, it turned out awfully. And I went on to one of those forums. It was the FlashForge Adventure 3 page on Facebook, because I am trying to work out something with FlashForge, but can't talk about that yet, because I tried to get them to pay for my repairs. Not sure if that's a good idea saying that out loud, but yeah, that's fine. But yeah, that was the only time I've ever had trouble with moisture in prints. I still have way more of my filament that's still wrapped up just over here, because I made a significant order on Amazon just before the printer went down. So I'm not going to have to buy filament for a good few months now. Plus the stuff that's back there I mostly use for the pen, because I have started using the pen a lot more now when I was trying to reattempt the shoes. Because for anyone that hasn't seen the shoes, they are just there below Iron Man.
Yes, I can tell those are shoes.
Well, you can see, look, you can't see the laces too well.
No.
But if I move my giant earphones, you can see their shoes.
Yeah, I can tell those.
What else would they be? What else would they be?
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's not like a figure of something or someone. It's a pair of shoes.
I thought you were being sarcastic when you said that. No. I apologize.
No.
They scare Chondo, because when I made the 3D printed shoes, Chondo told me, "Oh, I'm not going to butcher the redneck accent, but because he's from the South." But he said, "Oh, you'll never be able to make them wearable." I said, "If I make them wearable, I'm going to come to New Jersey. I'm going to walk into that H2O wrestling center, and I'm going to stamp on your feet." He said, I'm willing to take that bet. There was a lot more diddles and the I don't know, redneck stuff, but yeah, he was willing to accept that bet. And then I sent him a video when I was walking down the street one day with those shoes on. And what do you know? Shortly after that, COVID happened, and it was just the world's way of saying that he was being protected, because they didn't want him having his feet stamped on by the great Harry Barnett. And well, feet are kind of his thing. They're kind of his. A lot of people say that that's the money. Well, his feet are his, because he does the barefoot deathmatch stuff, and I don't know how he can. I don't know how he can, but yeah, one day he is getting his feet stamped on, and I will be got to try and move the right way. I will be signing those very shoes. I will be signing those shoes over to him, and he will be putting them in a Perspex case to remember me by, because it's not like he won't hear from or see me again after that. But he'll probably still be scared of me after I stamp on his feet.
Well, I hope you get that chance, and I hope this nonsense ends, and you can roam freely throughout the world as you please with your printed shoes and stamp on anybody's feet.
There's plenty of them. But a good time will come where my talents will be able to become worldwide again, and I will be able to enter other countries without having to spend 2 weeks doing nothing before flying to spend 2 weeks doing nothing and then doing something. So yeah, that time will come, Wayne Noon. Until then, do you have any ideas in your head where you're thinking, hey, if/when, I'm pushing for the when, because you know that I'll twist your arm. When you get back to printing, when you sort your problem out, what do you have in mind that you want to make?
I still want to print that rocket.
You still want to print that rocket?
Yeah, I still want to print that rocket. It's a really cool looking rocket.
It is a cool looking rocket.
It is. Have you seen it? There's a couple different ones.
I think you showed me what it looked like. If you didn't, then you showed me what the disastrous turnout of the rocket you printed was. But
yeah, I probably did that.
I think you showed me what it looked like. Again, head trauma. I'm lucky I remember my own name. Lucky I remember mine. Oh, damn, I'm matching. Didn't realize I'm matching.
You're matching. What? Oh, the headphones? Oh, that's cool.
No, the
what?
That.
Oh.
Yeah, apart from that's blue and that's red.
There you go. That's cool. At least you got some.
These headphones I bought by accident to do a Twitch show with someone who I don't do that Twitch show with now, but I still bought these because apparently I sounded stupid on my PlayStation microphone. But yeah, do carry on the rocket.
The rocket I really want to do, and before I forget, I did find an app. Let me see if I can find it. It's called EM3D, and you can scan.
I have that.
You can scan yourself.
You can scan yourself.
You can scan yourself, or pretty much any object. This is the kid that's in the app already. A template, I guess. For kid, so you can get him and see. It makes a nice little 3D object of you or whoever you're going to do.
That's both awesome and terrifying.
Yeah, it's cool. So if I can ever get my printer going again, I'm gonna keep trying. This does work. I did try them.
When you get your printer working again.
When I get my printer going. It does work. I have tried it myself, and it comes out pretty cool. I tried another app, and it was not as good as that one. Yeah. But this one is actually, it's a little confusing to use because you got to kind of be fast with it, but you can't be too fast because then it doesn't get all of your features.
Yeah, it messes up the design.
So once I can kind of figure that app out, I do want to use that app and make myself, and make a lot of other things too. Yeah, that was the first thing I ever wanted to print was myself, and I haven't done it yet.
I would call you a mark for yourself, but then I wouldn't be able to look myself in the mirror because I planned on doing the exact same thing when I got my printer.
You made yourself a few times already, so
3 times.
Yeah, 3 times, and then you made like a little figure too, didn't you? Like a posable
I don't
one.
Remember.
You don't remember?
No. The action figure didn't turn out too well. Oh, okay. We don't talk about that, Wayne. But the whole it's not really an ego drive. The whole thing behind printing yourself. No one can say that they don't do this to specifically put themselves over and be like, oh look, I've got an action figure in myself. If anyone says that they don't do it for that, they're fucking lying. But yeah.
I think everybody wants to print themselves, it's just the coolest thing to have something of yourself,
of all the stuff I've got on this thing here, literally there's a reason I put myself up there because he's above everyone else. He is the greatest thing that I have made ever. Well, he's not the greatest of the 3 versions of myself I've made. The first one was, but
actually, when me and my wife, me and my wife got married, we wanted a cake topper. You have to have a cake topper. But I didn't want one of those generic cake toppers that you buy in the store. I wanted something that was
done yourself.
Yeah. But I found a thing online, and they actually sculpt. Like you give them a picture of yourself, and they sculpt you. And I got a picture of me and my wife, and they sculpted us. So I do have one figure of myself, but it's a bobblehead. But it's cool.
I can't judge you. I mean, I'm looking at my laundry a little bit that way, and I'm looking at all the t-shirts with my logos on, my t-shirts with my name on, hoodies with my logo on. Yeah, I'm kind of a mark for myself, Wayne.
You are, but hey, you have to be,
I love me.
That's right.
But yeah,
if you don't
no
love
one
you,
gets into
who will do? Who will?
Well, I could go on the list I could make this a 15-hour podcast, and that would only be getting through the A's, B's, and C's of the list.
Oh my God.
Maybe not even that.
We don't have time for that.
We don't have time for that, but yeah, everyone loves me. That's all I can say.
If you say so. I know a lot of people who love you. Of course, everybody loves you, Harry. Don't be ridiculous. We all love you.
1 or 2 people. 1 or 2.
All right, 1 or 2. But I guess that's going to be it for today's show. I mean, like I said, I'm on the standstill with my printing right now, but I'm also working on other stuff too. I'm very behind on my regular podcasting. I'm also working on my first album in 8 years. So I'm doing music again. So I'm putting all that stuff together. And once I can get all that stuff set away, I can get back to 3D printing and try to get the machine.
How do you get behind on podcasting? Who do you think you are, Brian Last?
No, you know what it is? I recorded so many episodes ahead of time. I kicked one of the guys out. I didn't kick him out. Things just didn't work out with one of the hosts. So I got a new host.
Not everyone can gel well together. Not everyone can connect.
Not everybody can. Not everybody can. But we got a new guy. He's been a friend. I've been friends with him for 20 years. So it was a lot easier when he came on the show. And shows have been going really quick. And we've been doing extra shows and stuff like that. So that's how I got behind, because I haven't done those shows yet. I haven't put them together yet. So it's a lot of work, man. You
don't have to explain yourself to me, Wayne Noon. I just do 2 shows whenever I feel like it, / whenever you feel like it, / whenever Chondo feels like it. I've done that whole podcast life, and I hate the work. I love just sitting here talking.
It's a lot of work, but what I do like is like we're doing it live right now. This is how I wanted to always do the show. But sometimes some of the hosts that I work with, and some guests, they can't use StreamYard on their phone or whatever. There's always an issue, so I always have to do it pre-recorded. But
yeah,
it is.
Well, I mean, sometimes you can record it on. Oh no, yeah, you just said StreamYard. I was going to say sometimes you can stream it to a private stream, but you'd have to be able to use StreamYard to do that. Right. That's what happens when brain doesn't connect to ears.
Exactly. And if somebody's got an issue with one of the things that we use, then that causes a problem. But you know what it is? I like to create things anyway, which is why I bought the 3D printer, because I like to create things, and didn't know it was going to be such a pain in the ass, but it is what it is. But one day I'll get back on that again. And
if I ever have to fake my own death, I will come back under an alias as the creator.
Okay.
Kind of can't do that now because I just stooged myself off. Damn.
Oh well.
Sounded cool. It sounded cool though.
Is there anything else you want people to know before? It did sound cool, but you messed it up. So, anything else you want people to know?
Anything else I want people to know? Well, like I have said numerous times before, this is it's a patience game. You can't expect to have perfection in a week, a month. Sometimes you can't even have it in 2 years.
Right.
But if you stick with this, Wayne, if you persevere, Wayne.
I have to. My wife spent money on this machine. I can't not use it.
If you push through every inconvenience and If you tell the world that your printer is dead forever and then you realize that it's the simplest problem in the world, I would say Wayne, but that's something I did. Just stick through it and you'll get there and you will master this. And even when you think you've mastered it, you haven't, but you'll get there. And people can obviously see 3D printed videos that I've done, along with the other podcasts I do, the great Harry Barnett and Chondo Catman show. He is a man who I said likes a lot of cats.
Say that again, because you went all digital.
I went all digital.
Yeah.
They can obviously see the 3D printed videos that I do, along with podcasts, the great Harry Barnett and Chondo Catman show. He is a man who likes cats, so I call him Catman. You can obviously find these by searching on YouTube, the great Harry Barnett. And on all good social media platforms, you can either find me at the great HB or TGHB3D. And as far as I know, that's everything that I have. If I don't, then, well, I'm sure there's someone who can find my stuff. There's someone who finds everything I do. So
it's out there somewhere. We got somebody watching. There's been people coming and going through this whole thing, but nobody asked any questions. And I thought it would have been cool if somebody came on here and talked to us, but they didn't.
With great time comes great answers, Wayne Noon. I obviously changed that from great power comes great responsibility, but I always consider these shows live tapings. If you put them out live and no one responds or no one watches, who cares? It's up there. It's up forever unless you delete them. But then, if they say something, then cool. Interaction.
I know. One day we'll get interaction with people. Well, that's it from me. I don't really have anything else to say, but if you're watching this and having trouble like me with the 3D printing, don't give up. I'm not going to give up. I just have to have the time to fix the printer, and you should too. Don't give it up.
Put that hammer down, Wayne. Put that hammer down. The hammer that you're holding over you, that you're holding over your printer. You put it down.
I didn't think you saw that.
I see everything.
All right. Fine. I'll wait till we end the show. But so get the 3D printer, check online, read the reviews and see whatever seems good for you. I got the Ender 3 V2 and you got the Flash Forge and
Flash Forge Adventure 3.
Flash Forge Adventure 3. And everybody has their issues with it. It's not a perfect machine unless you're going to spend millions of dollars, and then I'm sure even those machines have issues too, but I don't know. If you like creating things, get one, and it is fun when it does work. And just don't give up. I'll try not to
give up.
Don't give up. Don't give up at all.
Give up.
Don't give up. Don't go that way, and don't go that way. You can go this way, and you can also go.
Sure, if I put one of these helmets up, I'll be fine.
You should. You should put one. Next time we do the show, I want one of those helmets on. Do they fit your head? No. Well, we'll try it anyway.
Why I always wear the same hat?
We'll try one of those anyway. RatSaddleReview.com, and just look up Rat Saddle Review. We're everywhere. What are we on? Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Spotify, Stitcher. Actually, you know what? I don't think I upload this to any of the podcasts. This is only a YouTube exclusive show. That's what this is.
Kind of got a C for a lot of it, so.
Right. So I find it pointless to upload the audio. But anyway, thank you guys for listening, watching, and thank you, Harry, for doing the show. It's been a while since we've seen each other. And
I'm invisible to the eye.
You are.
If I move so slowly, my movements are imperceptible.
But we will sporadically see you guys next time. Bye for now. Where's he going? I think he fell asleep. It is kind of late over there. All right. Good night, Harry. Have a good night. I hope he put the cap back on his Pepsi bottle. I don't want to talk too loud. I don't want to wake him up. Good night.